All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going deep on the secret spark plug of life on Earth. You think you know how plants work, right? Sunlight, water, boom. But what if I told you there's a hidden hero, a tiny molecule at the very beginning of the process that almost nobody talks about? That's what we're going to find today. I mean, it sounds like a kind of silly question, doesn't it? How does a plant eat sunlight? We see it happening every single day. A plant just sits there soaking up rays and somehow it grows. But how does it actually consume light? How does it literally turn a sunbeam into a physical thing, like a leaf or a stem? And look, this isn't just some neat trick of nature. This is, and I'm not exaggerating, the most important biochemical process on the entire planet. It's the ultimate foundation. It takes the raw nuclear power of our sun and converts it into the biological energy that fuels, well, pretty much all life.
To figure this out, we have to go on a journey. We need to shrink ourselves down, way, way down, and go right inside the plant itself, into its tiny green engines.
Okay, we're in. This is a chloroplast, and you can think of it just like the plant's personal power station. It's a highly specialized little organelle built for one primary purpose: to capture sunlight and put it to work.
Now, inside this power station, you've got the solar panels, and these are the hundreds upon hundreds of chlorophyll molecules. We all know chlorophyll is what makes plants green, and its main job is to absorb all that great energy from blue and red light, getting everything primed and ready to go. But chlorophyll doesn't work alone. See, something else has to take that initial blast of light energy and make the very first move. So what is it? What's the molecule that actually throws the switch and starts the entire chain reaction, the one that turns pure solar power into life itself?
We'll meet our unsung hero, tryptophan. And yes, if that name sounds familiar, it's the very same amino acid that people talk about after Thanksgiving dinner, the one in turkey that supposedly makes you sleepy. Turns out, it has a much more electrifying day job. So what exactly is tryptophan? Well, it's one of the essential amino acids, but its superpower comes from a very specific part of its structure, called an indole ring. And this ring, this little structure, is the absolute key to everything we're about to see. Now, tryptophan isn't the only one of its kind. It has a couple of cousins, like phenylalanine and tyrosine. But when it comes to interacting with light, it's not even a competition. Tryptophan just blows them out of the water. It has what's called the highest fluorescence quantum yield, which is really just a fancy way of saying it's uniquely brilliant at capturing light energy and getting excited about it.
So let's zoom in on that superpower. The indole ring is this beautiful structure, and it's formed by fusing a benzene ring and a pyrrole ring together. This fusion creates a large, what you call an electron-rich cloud. It's basically a pool of electrons just sitting there waiting for a spark.
And just how special is this thing? Well, get this. The most reactive spot on this indole ring is 10 trillion times more reactive than a standard benzene ring. That's a 10 with 12 zeros after it. That is not a small difference. That is an absolutely immense, off-the-charts leap in reactivity, which makes it exquisitely sensitive to energy.
So, we've got our super reactive molecule poised and ready. When the light finally hits, what happens next is basically a microscopic high-speed heist of an electron.
Here's how the heist goes down. A photon of blue light slams into tryptophan's indole ring, giving it a massive jolt of energy. The ring becomes so excited that it instantly ejects an electron in a process called oxidation. That single, freed electron, that's the whole point. It's now a tiny packet of mobile energy, ready to be sent down a complex chain to do work. This right here, this is the exact moment solar energy becomes biological energy.
And get this. The entire heist, from the light particle hitting the tryptophan to that electron being fired off, takes just a few nanoseconds. We're talking a few billionths of a second. It's all happening at a scale and a speed that's almost impossible for our brains to even comprehend. So this tiny, impossibly fast event has massive planet-shaping consequences. Let's zoom back out now and see just how big the fallout from this little heist really is. That single electron, set free by tryptophan, is what powers the entire photosynthetic assembly line. And the end results? Carbon dioxide and water are transformed into glucose. That's the sugar that is the plant's food. And as a byproduct, oxygen is released into our atmosphere.
And that byproduct isn't trivial, is it? Every single time you take a breath, you are directly benefiting from this nanosecond electron heist. Roughly 20% of our atmosphere is oxygen, and it was put there and is maintained by this very process, happening countless trillions of times a second all over the globe.
Which means the evolution of almost all complex life, every animal that breathes air, including us, was made possible by this little amino acid. Tryptophan's incredible reaction to light created the oxygen-rich world that allowed air-breathing or aerobic organisms to evolve and thrive in the first place.
And that brings us right back to where we started. It's not just a process, it is the process. A simple amino acid, a flash of light, and an electron on the move. That is the engine of our world.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If the secret to our entire atmosphere lies in one tiny part of one single amino acid, what other microscopic engines are out there quietly and invisibly running our world right now?